Okay, I shared the link. You guys start first. All right, you guys start first. Reading, and then one of it is one of the there are some readings. There are some readings, and then another one is exercise. All right. So I want you to do some exercises, but I can only find one at the moment. All right. So start with this first. All right. Once you start with this, and then later I will look for more and more exercises. All right. So that's for number one. I think it's you guys familiar, yeah. So today the other batch has exam because this is their last class, but only for 2 hours. Only for 2 hours, because tomorrow they will have the oral. So after 2 hours, after they do the online exam, I will come back with you guys and you guys. Right. So you start the three exercises first. Okay, let's see if you have any issue. Let's try one by one first. Any issue? So okay, so the first one is AWS fundamental. Right, so this one is just reading, watch videos, everything. Okay, so you have AWS Web Console, right? So that's one thing that's the one that you use when you did your AWS when you give the links, you are actually here, right? You're using the Web Console. Other than the Web Console, all right, you also have the CLI command line tool. So control your AWS services from the command line and automate service management with scripts. So if I'm not mistaken, all right, for the last exercise, which is this one, if you do it, all right, if you do this exercise, they will teach you how to use the CLI. Right, you have to do npm install AWS CLI. Right, so this one, so this one you have to use they will ask you to install this. So once you install the SDK, then you can upload the code, you can deploy it, you can even create a server and everything from a command line. So this is the CLI or CLI. If I will open this for next week. I will open AWS for next week. Then only I will close it. Then only I will delete your account. So if you want to try, right, you can try it for the entire week next week as well. Right? Because we have one more topic, which is S3 that we're going to do on Monday. So the next replacement class will be on Monday, and then you so that you can have a break, 1 week break. So during the replacement class, we have one more topic, which is S3. But right, I will let you try AWS for the entire week. And then IDE, not sure what's the IDE. Cloud9, right? So this is new as well. So AWS IDE is Cloud9, right? So you can run everything in a browser. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is the one. This is the browser where you open it, right? You open it, and then I was looking, and then everyone can work on the same browser, right? Yeah, this if I'm not mistaken, this is a browser. This is one of the IDE where we open it. All right, we open the IDE, and I can share the link. Then everyone can work on the same project. No exam. And then SDK. All right, so SDK is the thing that you include inside your project. Right? You include inside your project, and then you can call it within the project as well. I think some of the SDK, so you have a DynamoDB. Each of the service normally will have an SDK. For an example, DynamoDB, all right? When you're using DynamoDB, for example, then you will use an SDK. Infrastructure and cloud, all right? Define cloud infrastructure using familiar programming language. So you use programming code. Right, you use programming code to deploy a server. Right, you use program to deploy a server. All right, once you do that, second link, all right, core concept of AWS. Right, so this is, I think it's almost the same thing as what I mentioned to you last time. Right, when we do the cloud exercise. All right, we go through why cloud is better than normal wave. So I think it's almost the same thing. Say infrastructure as code, alright, so you have this one, okay, good lah, already reading it. And then you have observability and everything. Alright, so that's, yeah, this is the security part, reliability, right, performance, cost optimization, alright, this is, and then, okay, so let's see, churn, reliability, performance, and costs. Alright, cost is when I mentioned about capex and opex last time. Is a cost. When you talk about scaling, alright, when you talk about scaling, auto scale and everything is reliable, performance, efficiency, and reliability. Alright, so this one is security. So I am when you talk about who shared the responsibility. Shared responsibility, right? Shared responsibility is this one, and then operational excellence. Operational excellence, I think, is the they talk about the metrics, right? The metrics automation and everything. Betul lah? Who finished reading already? So security, right, is talking about IAM, right? IAM, shared responsibility, right? Also, this is network security, shared responsibility. I'm not sure if they talk about the data inscription. Okay, so have a look at this. And then the first exercise that I shared with you is about spot instance. Right? If you see, one of last time, if you see last time, when we look at AWS certified practitioner, so this one, and then under AWS certified perfectioner, this is the. So we'll go to organize. The AWS exam, the one that I mentioned. Somewhere over here, you have one topic which is called this one, EC2 pricing model and distribution. So this exercise is for you to understand this part, right? So this part. So if you want to watch the video also, you can watch at this part. Okay, there's a link as well. So and the free services. And then this will be in the exam questions, right? If you do this, you will be in the exam. And then if you remember, or if you remember when we create our EC2 last time, when we create our EC2, it asks you, right? Do you want a spot instance or not? Right. So if you remember, let me recap back. When you create your EC2, all right, in the second page, okay, let's remember back when we create an EC2, all right, when we create an EC2 last time. Up. Oh, this is the guys. Is it the one that you yeah? Some of you are doing it. Some of you started doing it already. All right. So once you create an EC2, right? Once you create an EC2, normally, somewhere over here, they were talking about spot instance. All right. So spot instance. So this is for you to understand what is a spot instance. So if you check back at this syllabus, all right, they have different type of payment, right? There are different types. So the one that we did last one is the most expensive that it could be. All right, the most expensive that it could be. You are on demand, right? On demand, that's the most expensive that it could be. All right. So other than on demand, all right, you have different type of pricing. All right, there are different type of pricing. One of it is spot instant. Ada explanation tak? All right. So basically, right, we create a server, right? So we create a server, and then we don't really use that server, right? We don't really use that server, and then we want to sell some part of our server to somebody else. So that's where that's what it is. So this is what I mean. Amazon is to allow creation of collection instances known as E0, and it will maintain, scale up, scale down number of instances needed based on scaling policies that are defined by the number of demands of the particular application. All right, so that's auto scaling. So spot instance, all right, a spare capacity available at steep discount. So I have a server, I don't use 100% of my server, and then I want to sell it, or I want to sell it, and then somebody, all right, somebody can buy my spot, all right, so they can buy my spot, which has discount more than the one if you take the EC2 on demand pricing, right? Normally it's 70% and 90% off. All right, it can be interrupted, right, within a 2 minutes notification whenever spare capacity is no longer available. But then, all right, let's say that suddenly I sell my PC to Walid, and then I sell my server to Walid, and then suddenly my server full, and then of course this is what I mean. Walid servers will be interrupted for 2 or 3 seconds, for 2 or 3 minutes. The 2 or 3 minutes is the time that AWS will try to look for another server, right? And then they found, then they will process, they will change from here to another place, right? It is important that application using EC2 spot instance to be stateless, fault tolerant, and loosely coupled. Instance should be ephemeral, so they can be easily removed and replaced as needed. This will be accomplished by creating an AWS application load balancer and using it to convert Amazon EC2 auto scaling to add or more instances as needed. The tutorial will also launch templates, and the capacity optimized allocation strategy will automatically provision EC2 spot instances from the most available spot instances pooled by analyzing capacity metrics. Pening sikit, not pening lah, right? High level a little bit. But some of the keywords that you need to take here is load balance and auto scaling. Right. So so after this, just baca, alright, just try. I want you to understand what this means. Spot instance is one, but I pretty much explained it to you. Maybe I just put there dedicate reserve on what are the other pricing, right, in EC2. So maybe I just put it there. Load balancer. All right, I want you to just recap back what's load balancer, and then auto scaling. Right, try to, and then what does it mean? What does it mean by this? Right, what does it mean? Give me an example. This one. So maybe while you're trying to do this, right, try to understand as well. All right, try to understand as well these points, and then later we will discuss. Right, later we'll discuss this. All right. So any questions for this exercise in particular? Jadi jangan lupa tutup so make sure that you do until clean up so make sure that you do if you do halfway also make sure that you finish until clean up make sure that you clean up. Okay, so if you need reference to answer to these questions, to play around, watch the video or something, right? What you can also watch the video as well, and then later try to see what's the answer that you get. Okay, if once you are done with this exercise, let me know. All right, well, if you are done with this exercise, let me know, because for the next exercise, I need to give you permission, right, to Aurora and everything. All right, so once you are done with this exercise, you let me know. No, not Aurora. I need to give you permission to light sail, all right, and to see, for you to see the difference between light sail and EC2. So next time you might have a project that you don't need to do on light sail, that might be you might need to do on EC2. Just now, and then I want to answer Kesavan just now. All right, so there is one question which is called AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Amazon Machine Image. All right, so this is one of the questions that we had on the first slide when we did it the first time. So I want to show, because Kesavan asked that question as just now. All right, so he said that Drupal, right? He said he might want to do Drupal or something. So there's this thing, right, which is called in EC2, which is called AMI. So where do you get it? You get it here, AMI. Not here. Right. This is my AMI. This is my AMI. Sorry. So, you have, this is your AMI, and you have a public AMI. So the public AMI, you can either look at marketplace or community AMI. I think it's marketplace, right? In marketplace. So some people, all right, some people already created, already pre-installed stuff. All right. So just last week, I wanted you to have experience to install WordPress, to learn about the command line and everything. So that's why I asked you to do it by yourself, right? But if you want to launch WordPress, right, so you can, AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image, which means that somebody will install, and then they create an image, and then they share it with other people. All right, so for example, WordPress also has an image. So if I want, I can just launch AMI, right, a WordPress from here, press select, and then a server with WordPress will be open. Okay. Tadi he asked me about Drupal, right? So Drupal also have an AMI. So if you want, or if he wants, or if Kesavan want, you can just look for Drupal AMI, okay? And then you just this is the only things that's different, right? This is the only things that difference. But I don't know. And then you have to look it's Debian and everything. All right, the server is Debian. This one is Ubuntu and everything. Right? So you just make sure some of it, if you want to maintain, might be different. All right. So for example, I want this one. I just press select, and then I continue. Right, just like my, and then this is the rate lah. This is the rate that I need to play. I need to pay. All right, Drupal and everything. Once the instance is right, enter the public DNS. All right, you can go to this login to access. Please check and everything. All right, so once you do that, press continue, and you can launch the server. So if you want, all right, just make sure every time you do it, just make sure that you stop the server and everything. Maybe if you want, you can try to launch Drupal or Magento, right? Magento also. All right, or Magento. Apa lagi? There is this thing which is called Testling as well. Testling is ni, right? Testling normally we have Testling, or any other application that you know. Any other any other application that you know other than this? Drupal, WordPress tak payahlah. WordPress you already did. Any other application that you know? Okay, so you try, if you want, you can also try this. So in AWS Small Server. Alright, so if you want, you can try to do this as well, and then let's see. Okay, so ada apa persoalan? Okay, the other batch still have exam, so antara ruang, that's why I come here. Okay, so if you have anything, you let me know, or if you have anything, you let me know as well. Later, we will come back to discuss the answers to the questions. Okay. Okay, I heard that Faiz dah settle. So I think, and then the other batch also finished exam already. Next week, Monday 6:30 to 7:30, I want to talk about. I know I already talked about this for a while, berulang-ulang kali, but this one I really want to spend 1 hour. And then I will talk about the syllabus and everything. So next week, last time you join batch 25 class. This time around, they will join you for 1 hour. I want to talk about properly. Normally, I talk roughly answering to Faiz questions. But next Friday, I will talk a little bit about because it's last class for Daniel as well. So Daniel final. I want to talk about the exam and everything. Right. So if in case you still have class 6:30 until 10:30. That's your last class. But 6:30 to 7:30, I will talk about SLDN. Okay, so what's the answer for this? So spot instance, all right, this one I already explained. So, spot instance is basically, all right, taking unused, all right, resources from other servers, all right, and it is sold at a cheaper price, normally 60 to 70% cheaper than the dedicated, right? They call it what? Dedicated. They call it what? Dedicated price. The reserve dedicated price. So what are the other pricing? So you have dedicated. I think this one is on demand price, reserve, spot, and dedicated. All right, so EC2 pricing. So let's say EC2 pricing. All right, so this one, this one is based on number of hours and second. All right, based on numbers of hours and seconds. All right, I launch, I pay, I tutup. All right, I don't pay. All right, I close, I don't pay. All right, so that's dedicated. All right, so with this is the reference. All right, I launch, I pay. All right, I don't pay. All right, so this is the most expensive one. All right, this is the most expensive one. Right. Spot instance. All right, instance. This one, we already mentioned. All right, so it's this one, taking either from other server. All right. Then you have reserve. What is it? Reserve pricing. All right, this one. This one, you take a commitment of 1 hour or 3 years. So reserve pricing means I pay in advance, all right, for 1 year, all right, or 3 years. So this is cheaper than on demand, right? Because finally I'm not sure which one is cheaper. All right, because I pay, I'm confirm I will pay for you for 1 year or 3 years. Confirm, I will tell AWS, I will pay for 1 year or 3 years. So that's why this is cheaper a little bit than on demand. This one, you don't use, you have to pay. You don't use, you have to pay. All right. So this on demand, you pay, you turn on, you pay, you turn off, you don't need to pay. Reserve mean I pay in advance. All right. But I don't use, I have to pay anyway. All right. But it's cheaper. Dedicated is a physical EC2 server dedicated for your use. If I'm not mistaken, dedicated means you will have one server only for you. Right, this one is I will have my own server. Right, dedicated server is one server only for you. What is the difference? Physical baca ya, physical. What is the difference between dedicated and on demand? The word is physical there. Right, the keyword is physical. So siapa agak-agak tahu if dedicated is physical, the others is what? Lawan kepada physical is
non-physical, tak ada form.
tak ada form.
Non-physical lah.
Lawan kepada physical is virtual. Alright, so lawan kepada physical is virtual. So let's say what is a virtual server pula? Alright, what is? If it's not physical, then it's virtual. So what is a virtual server? So this one dia berbalik back to the questions, back to my explanation last time. Alright, when hari tu kan I cerita kan masa I dekat France. Alright, I go to this place, cloud lah, right? Cloud, right? But the term is virtual. I go to this place, and then you have a rack server, right? Rack of lamp pula. Apa? Rack server. Alright, this is one server and everything. So if you're talking about dedicated, it means that AWS will have all this, alright? And all this is for you, alright? Kalau tak, if it's not dedicated, then it's virtual. Right? When we talk about virtual server, what is a virtual server? A virtual server means you have one server, all right? You have one server, physical server, you have one physical server. Inside this physical server, I will run virtual machine. All right, I will run virtual machine. And then let's say that this server, all right, I can have Faiz EC2 here, but just now also can have Walid EC2 here. I can have Kesavan EC2 here. I can have Raj EC2 here, but it's inside one same physical server. Kan you reserve kan? You reserve, alright, I want 0.5 gig kan, gig of RAM, alright? I want 0.5 gig of RAM, 500 megabyte of RAM, right? When you get this, alright, when you get the server, alright, you have for 500 RAM lah, but doesn't mean that your PC, doesn't mean that the real physical server is 500 meg of RAM, right, or 0.5 gig. What can happen at the end, you tak tahu, right? What can happen at the end, you tak tahu, is that they might have like a server with 16 gig of RAM, ada 16 gig of RAM, the physical server, and then it divided, all right, this server, I will share it with 32 people, all right, 32 people, each of them will have 0.5, all right, so that's the concept of virtual server. The physical server, or behind that you don't see, there is a server, right? There's a computer, but inside that computer, it can has multiple more computers inside it, right? They create a virtual server, multiple server inside. This one also, I don't teach, right? I know lah the concept, I don't teach, but if you are interested, but you always do BlueStack. Anyone use BlueStack? Ni pemain game, right? If you play Mobile Legend on your PC, right? For example, BlueStack is an example of a virtual PC. So you inside your PC, you will create another OS and everything. When you did your module 3, right? You are working with virtual, right? You're working with virtual devices. But now we are talking about virtual PC and everything. If you want to learn more, banyak is a different server. If you want to learn more, you can look for the software which is called VirtualBox, right? You can look for software which is called VirtualBox, and then inside VirtualBox, all right. I'm not sure lah if there is VirtualBox is one of.
Dulu dia mengalami kebas dan kesemutan. Jadi dia mengambil NeuroBR.
VirtualBox is an example of a software that allows you to create a virtual server. So if you want, you can look at this tutorial. I'm not sure. I'm just looking for the first example that I see on YouTube. Alright. Ada tak contoh? Alright. So for example kan, this one, alright, this one I think you can, right? You can try this. You can try this tutorial, which is how to install another OS in your PC. Alright, dulu masa I kecil-kecil. Masa I was in university, right? We have Linux, we have Unix, we have Unix. We have Linux punya kelas, right? Just like how I give it to you, I also learn it from my teacher as well. So today I give you, right? Today I give you the server. So let's say that I tutup server ni, right? After 1 week I tutup server, but you are interested with Linux and everything. What you can do is you can follow this tutorial, right? You can follow this tutorial, download VirtualBox, and then look for the Linux images, look for Ubuntu images. And then once you look for the Ubuntu images, you can just load, right, Ubuntu images, and then you can run it inside your PC. So you can have Linux inside your PC, right? Same thing as well if you want to run a Mac in your PC, right? You always heard people want to run Mac inside PC, right? There's another tutorial how to install Mac inside a PC. Same way also there's a way for you to install PC inside a Mac using virtual by creating a virtual server inside your PC, right? So the concept. This concept is the same concept that AWS have, right? It has a one big server, one server, powerful server, but inside that server, inside that powerful physical server, it has multiple virtual server, and that multiple virtual server is being sold to you guys, right? Through these packages. Right? But if it's dedicated, it means that you are buying the one physical server and not the virtual server. Okay, so that's the different pricing in AWS. Okay, load balance. What is a load balancer? All right. So this one I already explained to you as well. So basically, in this example, you are not buying one server, you're buying multiple server. How many server do you buy? Do you know how many server do you buy or not? Is it explained in the article how many server you buy? You buy one or two server? You buy two, or how many server you buy in this exercise?
Ada lama level 4 ke? Tak pastilah. Ada ni lah.
Ni berapa banyak suruh beli?
So 4 tak alamak dulu. Kita buat instances lah.
Instances lah. How many instances?
Minimum 6, maximum 12.
Okay, alright. Minimum 6 macam mana? Gila je. And then select C5 Flash. Oh my god, gila je ni. Mampus duit aku. Alright, so they ask to do C5 directly. Kejap lagi later memang I kena check the server, make sure everything is closed. Alright, so yeah, minimum 6 and then multiple 12. Alright, and then you have load balancing. You have load balance. That's going to need the traffic from one to another. Alright, so load balancer distribute the traffic from one server to another server. And then auto scaling. So the next question is auto scaling. Auto scaling is something else. So this one, load balancer divide the traffic, right? Divide or manage, right, the traffic from one server to another server. And then, if I'm not mistaken, they mentioned about round robin. Alright, round robin. Right, and they mentioned about round robin. So what is round robin? Alright, round robin is, saya pergi 1 dulu, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, round robin kan. Round robin in load balancer. Alright, they give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, setiap orang ada dia punya ni. So I go to server 1 first, I go to server 2 first, I go to server 3, I go to server 4, I go to server 5. Alright, that's the simplest, right? That's the simplest way of distributing, right? That's the simplest way of distributing the traffic. Alright, first person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person. First person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, fourth person. Alright. Other than round robin, alright. Other than round robin, alright. You can see that there is other way, or to share it. For example, with load balancing. Alright. One other example is with load balancing. Alright, load balancer sticky session, DNS round robin and everything. Alright. Paling senang round robin, but FYI, alright, FYI, there are other type of strategy of load balancing as well. Yang, if I'm not mistaken, yang tadi they mentioned about wait. Alright, wait means wait round robin means pemberat. Alright, so maybe it's no longer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I said that 2 is 50%, 1 is 25, and then 3 is 25. Alright, so 2 will handle more because 2 might be big or something. So that's wait round robin. The other one that I remember is that just now I saw it is states, something that's related to state. Yeah. Itu I remember lah. And one that I can remember is the state. Mana dia? Yeah, sticky session. All right. So this means that there is one. Once in this strategy, all right, you see, let's say that you log in, let's say that you log in, all right, you log in, you go into one server and then you log in, you get the token. So in this case, sticky session means for each request for the same client, the load balancer processes the request to the same server each time. So if you go into in this strategy, or in this strategy, if you go into one server and then you have the token and everything, you will always go to the same server. Right, so this is another strategy. But when you set it up, or when you set it up, you set round robin. What it means that when a request comes, the first one go to 1, the second one go to 2, the third one go to 3, 4, 5. Right, the other things that I mentioned is just FYI. All right, FYI, in case, right, in case you see it in the future, or so you somebody asks you in the interview or something. Okay, next one, auto scaling. Apa itu auto scaling? Auto scaling means automatically, all right? I set like a threshold, all right? I say that, all right, my server, I want it to be like 70%, all right? Once 70% of usage, a new server will be created. That's what auto scaling means. You don't control, right? You don't control. You don't need to open or close the server. You can sleep, right? But if suddenly tonight there are a lot of requests into your server, a new server will be opened automatically, and it will be linked to your load balancer. All right, so that's what auto scaling mean. The load balancer will automatically, right, add a new instance of EC2, all right, when the request or the server load pass a certain threshold that we set. So e.g. 70%. Ada tak? Did you set this somewhere when you do the setup? Ada tak? Latihan tadi, this one? No, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Ada ke? Not this one. Let's see what mana. I actually close it. Right.
Third tutorial, sir.
Third tutorial kan, but I actually close it.
Exercise tu.
Ni kan, sekejap. Ada tak dia suruh buat? Ada tak dia suruh buat threshold? Threshold.
Yang ni lah.
Healthy. Oh, yang itu ya. Yang ini ada target, the health check is expected set and change the healthy threshold to 2 and the interval to load, ini bukan load balance.
Sir, cuba 4.3.
4.3 ya. 4.3. This one, correct. So this one means I want to ensure that the load of my server is 50%. All right. So if my load is more than 50%, then a new server will be created. This is what it means. Jadi mana I bayar ni, alright? Jadi mana I nak bayar untuk tutorial ni. So it will ensure that you will always have. Nanti kan you jaga-jaga tau, alright? Oh, you jaga-jaga. Mana tahu kan after this you want to do your own AWS, you want to learn, you want to do your own tutorial, you jaga-jaga. When you see like X large, like freaking expensive. Just make sure that you tutup balik lah. You be careful with the tutorial that they give. Sometimes dia saja je letak yang mahal. Right? So this one is so this part, it says that okay, each server, okay, I want it to be like 50%. Right? Once 50% of threshold is exceeded, then create a new server. That's what auto scaling means. Okay, the last question, what is an example of activity that you can use spot instances? Apa contoh application that you can use spot instances? Okay, tak apalah. Apa ni kan? Let's say okay, now you understand what the word kan redundancy kan. Someone mentioned the word redundancy. So do you understand what it means? Do you understand what high availability means first? Apakah itu high availability? What is high availability? Semua tak sabar nak habis ni. One more class and then that's it. And then we do app. And then yang lain dah habis lah. So high availability means I will always ensure SLA is fulfilled. Right? So I offer a service.
99%.
And then I will ensure, bergantung lah normally is with 9x. 9x, right? Biasanya 99.9999x, like 99. And then let's say that I choose an SLA, then I have to fulfill that SLA, and normally it's being represented by the minutes or hours that I can go down every day, every week, every month, right? So that one is you can also look back. High availability Wikipedia, it has the definition. So in order to ensure high availability, one of the strategy that we can use is what we call load balancer, right? That's what load balancing. When we do load balancing, normally you will need to have at least two server, or at least two server that you can set to auto scale. Okay, so this one clear, load balancing clear, high availability clear. So because this is the third time we've been doing it. So the question that I ask you, all right, can I have these two servers? Can I do it spot instance for both of the servers that I want to buy? Because it's cheap, right? Can I have one, or can I have two spot instances server in my application? Boleh ke tak kalau dua-dua ni I want to do spot instance?
Boleh.
Boleh. Kenapa?
Depends on the load lah.
Depends on the load. Jawapannya tak boleh. I cannot approve. Alright, so jangan salah lah kalau interview dah dapat dah kerja. Right? Jawapannya tak boleh. Why tak boleh? Because it's written here, right? It's written in the exercise, right? It's written in the exercise. Sometimes it goes down. Alright, so spot instances can be interrupted within 2 minutes notification whenever the spare capacity is no longer available. Sorry, within 2 minute notification, bukan 2 minute down. It can goes down, right? Within 2 minute notification. So dalam masa 2 minit, suddenly it goes down. So if you have both of your server in spot instance, there might be a chance that both of the server is inside the same spot instance, and then suddenly the PC is dah penuh. The PC is full, then both will goes down. All right, so you cannot have both on two servers. But what you can have is you can have one server in on demand or reserve instance, on demand, on or reserve instance. So this one will never goes down. Kan? Because it's on demand and reserve, it never goes down. AWS will ensure that it will never goes down. And the others, right? The others that you scale, that one you can do. That one you can put on spot instance. Right. So that's what it means. All right. This is the basically the answer for. Ni lah, right, for the stateless, fault tolerant, and Lewis coupled. All right, you have to put something that you yang boleh down. All right, you have to put it somewhere that can goes down. Right. So and then for example, maybe you one of the thing that you can do is you need extra. You run a server that process a video or something. That one is normally a high load server, right? Tak cukup, alright. You have one server, tak cukup. You want to have to add one more server to run the same processes. Then that one also you can use spot instances as well, right? So as long as there is one server that keep running, and then you're just adding power to that server, that one that is the one, the one that's adding the power. That one you can use spot instances. Alright, any questions? Okay, I'm not sure where you are. All right, just remember, we try to finish the class at 10:15. We try to finish all your exercise at 10, and then take another 15 minutes. Take another 15 minutes to clear up the server. But if you have extra time. I check everything at 10:30 lah. I clear up everything at 10. I check everything. I'm not clear. You guys should clear it up. If you have enough time, you have extra time like Faiz dah habiskan, I recommend you instead of instead of doing Aurora, try to see AMI, the one that I showed just now. So try to see AMI. Try to see AMI and launch a service and see how easy it is. Alright. So nanti next time maybe we'll do maybe next time we will do light sail, right? I think we have S3, and then we have 4 hours. 1 hour I will talk about what's next, and then another 1 hour to do near a little bit, and then another one we do light sail, right? But this remaining time, if you want, you can try to see. If you can see, you can use AMI. Just now I show you AMI. Maybe you can do Magento or something, and then you see you try to see how easy it is using AMI. Okay. So Kesavan, to answer to your question, you can check StackShare. All right, you can check StackShare. All right, inside StackShare, right, inside this one I think I explained last time, but let's recap. Inside StackShare, you can have a look at, for example, I'm not sure Facebook have or not, but we can see browse stack. So under browse stack, okay, you can look for a company. All right, so let's say that I'm not sure PUBG have a PUBG PUBG or have a PUBG tak ada lah. Siapa buat PUBG? Who do PUBG? Epic, is it? Epic Games, is it? Alright, so let's say Epic Games. Alright, so you want to have a look at Epic Games. I'm not sure PUBG Epic Games buat ke tak. So let's say that you ni, but this one is not. So this will tell you what technology they use. Right, this will tell you what technology. Let's see Facebook ada ke tak? Facebook. No, this is the Facebook company. Facebook, search Facebook. Okay, let's see here. So you have Facebook here, all right? It will tell you what technology they use, all right? What technology they use. So kita tengok bawah, Do you see AWS here? Right? If it's there, then it's there. Right? If it's there, it's there. If it's not there, doesn't mean that it does not use it. All right? If it's not there, doesn't mean that it does not use it. Right? It's just that they choose not to share it with the people. All right? So this you can have a look at here. I know, maybe you can look Uber, for example. So Uber, for example. I rasa Uber we can see, right? We can see Uber example. So under Uber, okay, you can see that they are using, tak ada juga AWS. Who has it? I know that one of the no, they are using EC2, right? So they are using EC2, they are using mongodb, you're using Redis and everything. So Uber is an example of a company that use EC2, right? So you can just use StackShare, you tengok what you do, right? But to be honest, if you ask me, I don't think Facebook is using AWS because Facebook belong to Microsoft. Well, part of Facebook is Microsoft has share, right? So I think they are using Microsoft Cloud. So I don't think Facebook using AWS, but most probably they are using Azure, right? Because it's part ada sedikit saham, right, in Facebook which belongs to. So when I explain to you about cloud, right, I already told you it's not only AWS. I use AWS because that's the one that I'm familiar with, because it's friendly. Last time it used to be friendly, because not doesn't mean that now it's not friendly. Last time I think it's one of the friendliest, right? But I think the other cloud provider learned from AWS, and then it become. All right. In which scenario you cannot use AWS? There is one very well-known scenario. that you cannot use AWS. Bilakah kamu tidak boleh guna AWS? Ada satu, there is one scenario that you tak boleh guna AWS langsung. You have to use another cloud provider. Senario manakah anda tidak boleh menggunakan AWS? And you have to use Alibaba. So to give you more clues, you have to use Alibaba. Marketplace, no. Right. If you are serving for China market, right? If you're building an app for China, if you're serving China market, if you build something because AWS is banned, right? Just like Google, just like me and everything, you cannot access it from China, right? So if you are serving for China market, if you're building something for China, sure, you have to use Alibaba. So that's why I give you a clue. It's something to do with Alibaba. You have to use Alibaba. There's no other thing. Right. So last time also masa I buat the Asia project, right? They want to like nasib baik tak jadi kan. Until today, I don't think there is a flight. There is got Asia flight to China. At that time, no, but I can't remember now. Have Kunming or something. They wanted to do it, but I'm not sure if there is a route already to China. So if you're building something for China market, sure, Alibaba, AWS cannot. You have to use Alibaba. All right. Any other questions?
Sir, last week tu buat app ke sir?
Last week apa?
Ya, yang saya cakap buat app tu untuk apa tu?
Batch lain. You all dah habis. Kan ada yang tak habis lagi ni. Mungkin server semua tak habis lagi. So they are doing learn app after this. You guys dah learn. Alright. So next week we do S3 a little bit. Dah ada dah Beijing pun dah ada. Sorry, ini kita tak sure kan because it might be shared flight, right? It might be co-shared. So the day where Asia goes to China is the day where they have to change from no lah, normally that's what they are not going to change. They are going to have a website for China market in Alibaba, but the rest is still on AWS. Okay, any other questions? Kalau tak ada, you can use my ni. I suggest you to do one more thing, which is to try to install Magento from AMI, and then or you complete the load balance exercise. So I'll give you cut off time. No, for the third exercise, I give you a cut off time at 10:30. So after 10:30, I will just do a quick check because it's worrying me to see all the X class is being opened, and then load balances semua kena clear. So later at 10:30, alright, I will go and check my account and just make sure that everything is deleted. Right, but the WordPress account, the WordPress thing that we did last week, is going to still be there. The only things that I'm going to close is whatever that you do today. So if you want, you can try to use the Magento. When you can try to do Magento or Drupal or something using AMI or something that I explained just now. And then next week last day, we will do S3, and then we will do the light sail as well. Any questions?